What's
All
up,
right.
everyone? I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Sitting here with my partner, Rodney Rhodes. Rodney Rhodes out of Indianapolis. We just sitting around having a good chat. And
Right.
as you guys know, I'm your real estate coach, seller financing. If you're looking to get down into real estate, specifically in seller financing, I'm your go-to guy. So, Rodney, what would you like to share with the people?
Man, well, I'm just, happy to be here. I just, signed on here. We was chopping it up a little bit before we actually went live. We were discussing a few things about what is going on in the, trading time for dollars, work
Yes.
environment out there and how to, break away from that or how to add some other things to that would, create some freedom, some
Yes.
time
Freedom.
freedom, because that's what the rich buy. They buy our time. We sell our time like it's nothing. We sell it like, we've got plenty of it to dispose of, which in reality we
Right.
don't. And so what we, as we were talking, we came to, the points that are out there. People with open minds can actually see the reality, of which route to take to actually position yourself, to actually realize that your time is valuable and you need to be
Yes.
working as hard as you possibly can to preserve it and save it so you can spend it with your family and this, that, and the other. Uh, but yeah, man, tell me a little bit about, your beginnings. I know you, man, we go way back, man, but they don't
Yeah,
know.
man.
They need to know who this brother's come a long way,
Man.
man. I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
you climbed the hills, man. If they in that scripture says, speak to this mountain and say, be thou removed. This man has
Right.
spoken to that mountain and
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
removed. So tell me a little bit
Yeah.
about, where you come from and your background and different things like that. So
Okay.
they understand that if there's anybody who can actually show them how to get things done, you are the man for the job.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to share with the people. I know Charles Barkley used to have a little commercial. He said, "I'm not a role model." Well, I want to be completely opposite of that. If kids are watching this, or if you're in a different situation, just allow my story to be a role model for you. I want to be a role model because this is the situation. I come from very humble beginnings, very rough neighborhood, and somehow, some way, stayed on the right track. It was challenging at times, just like different people coming from the inner city. You had different challenges, whatnot. But somehow, some way, I stayed on the right track, figured some things out, and I started a real estate business. That didn't happen like overnight. It took a while for me to get the business up and running. So, I mean, I just didn't have a little bit a real estate business. I had for me, it was a massive real estate business. I had a 15 unit apartment building, 4 unit apartment building, and houses all across the city. And this was in Toledo, Ohio. Then back in 2008, when the market corrected itself, and I'm not blaming the market, or the circumstances that was going on. It was 100% my responsibility because I didn't have the proper skills to deal with the adversity that I was facing. I lost everything. When I say
Ooh,
everything,
Lord, have mercy.
everything. I had 40 doors and I lost everything. My house got foreclosed against. My personal car got repossessed, and I relocated from Toledo, Ohio, which is about 40 miles south of Detroit, and I relocated to Missouri. And when I was going to work for like the first week or two, I was driving a U-Haul truck. I mean, it was rock bottom. And at that particular time, I found a mentor, and I started learning. I knew of the strategies, but I started paying attention to these real estate seller financing strategies, like subject to land contract, lease options, and started working those deals. And again, anything worth having doesn't come easy. It took me a little bit to get used to it. I wasn't one of those guys. And once I started learning, it was just,
Yeah.
straight to the top. It was some challenging times, but
Yeah.
somehow, some way, I figured some things out, and I was able to build my whole portfolio back and built it up better this time, where it's like recession proof. So
Yeah.
my goal in life, my mission in life, is to help out as many people as possible show them how to build wealth regardless of their situation. Because I started with zero, like negative. I owed a bunch of people money and was able to build my whole situation back up. So I want to show as many people that skill set so they can help change their lives, make impact on their family, and just help them just do better. This be better individuals, better community, better people. And then when I say better people, not just black people, but when I say better people, usually people refer to we just talking to black people, but black people, brown people, white people, everybody that's looking to do good, I want to help. I want to help them.
Yeah, there you go. Anybody that has time
Mm.
and wants to say, start to regain that time that they can actually, spend life doing some things that, uh, other than just working, kind of flip it around to where it's not just 2 days a week
Right,
off and 5 days on, but just flip it where it's 5 days on, 5 days off and 2 days on. But
right.
man, that's a incredible story, man, and to bounce back, the way you
Bounce
did
back.
over the last, uh what's it, 15, 20 years. Talk about persistence, man. I mean, like, now let me ask you this. When you first got started, was there anything like a real estate course or anything that kind of got you, fired up to where you wanted to, actually get them 40 doors, before you, when
Right.
you had 40 doors,
40 doors.
yeah, were you looking at Carlton Sheets, Dave
Yeah,
Delgado, Tom Boo,
yeah,
what I mean, all these cool, all these guys.
yeah,
I mean, tell
yeah.
me what your inspirations were back, when you first got started back then.
Man, like what I was talking about, role models. As we coming up, in life, my role model was my grandparents. My grandparents kind of took me in, adopted me when I was younger, and my grandfather and my grandmother were my mentors. They had one rental property, but in the house that we lived in, they were renting out one of the rooms there. So they had a duplex, and then the house that we were living in, they were renting out one of the rooms there. I remember very young. I mean, I couldn't even count that good. They pull out the Monopoly game. Here, boy, start right
Oh,
here.
wow.
You know what I mean? So I believe, they were kind of grooming me to be in the business. And then once I got a little older, say around 11, 12, actually, he kind of started me helping out earlier than that. Like I think I was probably around 7, 8, something like that, like helping out in the yard, we cutting grass and things like that. But once I got a little older, started being more aware of different things, like around 11 or 12, I used to ask the question, we got one property, but it's houses all around the city. I'm familiar with it. We play Monopoly a lot, so I'm
Yeah.
familiar with the game. So, you got one property. Why don't we just go out here and buy a bunch of these properties? I'm playing that record over and over again. Every time we get to talking about houses and real estate, I'm talking about buying a bunch of properties. And I convinced him at one time. He made an offer on one property and it didn't get accepted. Then he made an offer on a property across the street. It didn't get accepted. And then he just said, "Forget it." He just goes, "Stay like it was." He didn't want to. He
Yeah.
didn't want to grow. And man, I remember early on, like I was probably about 14. I was like, when I get older, man, I'm gonna try to buy the city. I'm gonna
Yeah,
buy
I
as
can
many
remember.
properties as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And once I got in position, you mentioned Carlton Sheets. Once I got in position, I seen that infomercial. I had some money saved up. Grab that Carlton Sheets and read it front to back about, man, at least about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And yeah, jumped out there and made it do what it do.
Yeah, I used to love sitting up at night, man, while everybody else was watching Johnny Carson. I was flipping through looking for them infomercials, man.
Yeah,
I used to like to watch the little African ladies. But I bought this units that I've got through, and I'm getting $1,100 a month. I already
right,
remember what she
right.
was doing. So, man, but it's awesome, man, that you had mentors in your own family. You had
Yeah.
gurus in your own family. You had access to people who were actually, um, savvy, investors, personal investors. Not to say
Mhm.
that they were in business, but they were taking consideration into their financial future by knowing that real estate is, at that time and still to this day, one of the most, profitable endeavors to pursue. Now, let me ask you this: over this time frame, you had your grandparents, and then you had your aspirations that were cultivated in you. Share with me the mindset development process to where you actually began to take on some of their traits, to their some
Yeah,
of their endeavors. You actually began to pursue some of these things yourself, and the mindset in the muck and mire of all of the naysayers.
man, mindset, man.
Yeah,
That's
mindset.
that's it right there. Mindset is the most important thing. It's just the most important thing in business. It's the most important thing in life. I heard a very awesome analogy, and I'm gonna try to repeat it accurately. So, like your mind is like a computer. Your mind is like a computer. So whatever you put in your mind, it's just going to process. If you putting bad stuff in there, it's going to process that. But if you putting good stuff in there, it's just going to process. So the analogy is like we're made up of the mind, the body, and the spirit.
And
And
the
the
spirit,
spirit
right?
is perfect. The spirit is just wonderful. But the mind controls the body. So the mind is just going to process. So the thing is, the spirit is perfect. It's wonderful. But if we're putting the right things in our mind, let's leave with that. We putting the right things in our mind. That's why we want to always be doing personal development. And what I mean by personal development, like listening to audiobooks, we got YouTube, watching videos, listen to the right information, and you putting the right things in your mind consistently. And so then your body is going to react to that. And like I said, the spirit is perfect. So like you putting the right stuff in your mind, your body is going to be making moves and lining you up with other spirits, and those two spirits connect. And then when two people get together, they produce multiple different things. So
Right.
that just your mindset, you just want to constantly feed your mind positive information. So constantly be either reading books, listen to audios, or listen or watching YouTube videos. Just constantly feeding your mind, and then take action on it. Make it real. But when it comes down with my upbringing, my grandfather, he was pretty rough. He was a disciplinarian, to say the
Hmm.
least. He was a pretty mean cat.
Took
but
that belt off in a heartbeat, huh?
yeah. But he made, it helped out. So like the big influences were like say my granddad, of course, and my grandmother was there to counteract a lot of that different type of personality. But man, I couldn't thank my aunt and uncle enough, man. My aunt Carmen Wright and John Wright, my uncle, man, it's like, they had some college education, but man, they wise, but just wise, man. And then they just take the time, like I said, my grandparents raised me, but my aunt and uncles was right there. They stayed next door, and this took the time to just impart into me that wisdom, man, and that wisdom that pretty much helped make me the person I am today. I mean, I couldn't thank them enough. Every time I go back to the city, man, I try to look out
And,
for them, man.
and
My
wisdom
people,
ain't cheap. Wisdom ain't cheap.
man,
Wisdom,
man.
wisdom is not cheap. But yeah, so
Yes,
with the mindset, that is necessary to succeed, you had mentioned um, being influenced, by,
mm,
people. And so the books and all the books and things
right.
that, were written by people. They were written
Yes,
by people. So if you don't have a person that, that's right next to you, like your grandparents, this, that, and the other, and even after them, you continue to pursue, things that came from the mind of other people or from the
right,
experiences of
right,
other people. So you can't get away from the path of discovery by, and wing it,
right.
without, causing yourself, some undue or unnecessary uh, losses, or unnecessary experiences. Like they
Mm,
used to say back in the day, the Ronald LeGrand calls it a seminar.
Right, right, right.
You step
Yeah,
into a realm of what you don't know, what you don't
right,
know, you're gonna wind up going to some seminars that you don't
right
want to
on,
go
right on,
to. You know what I'm saying? So,
right on.
but okay, so as far as mindset is concerned, believe what the mind can conceive and achieve,
Hmm.
conceive and believe it can
Right.
achieve. Whether people have a higher calling, whether they go to they depend on the creator. Me myself, I'm a faith, based individual, so
Right.
I pray and I, do things in that way. And then I also surround myself with people like yourself, who
Thank you,
have
brother.
gone before me and this, that, and the other. So I did want to throw a plug in there and thank you for that, bro, because tell
Thank
you,
you.
there's a lot of things that I've learned from you and continue to learn from you. But as far as mindset, um, it is. I don't like the phrase "fake it till you make it." I don't like that. But in some instances, taking on the personality of another person in order to
Hmm.
achieve some of the same things that they've achieved,
Right,
adopting and emulating and being influenced by that person is probably one of the most important things that a person can do.
right,
Especially when you're trying to get into something and you're saying, how can I get from here to here? It's like martial
right,
arts. I'm
right,
taking martial arts, and you're not gonna get a black belt just and not listen to the juru, or
right,
not listen to a sensei.
right,
So mindset is not only um, self respect. It's not only your personal, but it's also that of other your influences. So letting someone
right,
else show you the way. That
right,
mindset is that is so important to have that installed in your mindset. And
right.
then you apply that to the process. Now the
Yes,
process that you took to with the mindset, you have the mindset, now you got the mindset, now you have to focus on the process. So tell me a
right,
little
right.
bit about the process. And then I know time is of the
Oh, we
essence.
got time. We got time. We good. We good.
Okay, okay, and
Yeah,
I know that, but see, this the process is one of those areas that people need. They get paralysis of analysis.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Where they get stuck, in the
right.
process. Tell me what you've decided that would be for someone, and you're helping people, and how do you
Hmm.
start people on that process of deciding how they're going to start their initial process, because in order to get from point A to point B with
Right,
um, to where you're going to the title company and picking up a check, you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Give me a little background on how you help people to isolate and identify what process that where to start with the many processes,
right,
the tools and pieces to personally design a process for them.
right. So, I mean, this is one thing. The way my program, when I try to make my program design where I can help people no matter where they at, and really, where I came from, where starting with no money and horrible credit. So
Woo.
that's like the core of the program. But what I set it up is that if you have some cash, or you do have some credit, or if you have both, I mean, you can still be successful in the program as well. Because I usually only teach it from the standpoint of a person didn't have no money, didn't have no credit. It
Right.
worked
No
for me. It's going to
cash,
work for
no
you. But
credit.
that's the challenge. Is I mean, it's a rough road. I know a lot of people
Right.
talk about the no money down strategies. They had never used money to buy properties. I mean, that's cool. But if everyone is not in that situation. So the first thing you want to do is to skill up. They call it the journey of the entrepreneur. So the first step, number one, we want to skill up. Skilling up, you want to educate yourself. You want to get trained. Now you can do that a couple different ways. Like I was talking about the personal development as far as reading books, watching the YouTube, going to YouTube University. Um, listen to audiobooks, and for sure, if you read enough information, you do enough research, that is a guaranteed way to success. You can read enough books, listen to enough audios, and get there. But the fastest way to success, the fastest way, is getting in proximity with someone that's doing something that you want to do. So that's the reason why you get a mentor. You getting not necessarily getting a mentor for all the information you might not know, but you getting a mentor because they're gonna give you the shortcut because you right there, because you might be reading a book and you'll go the long route. Or if you're reading a book and you run into a problem, you don't have nobody there to discuss it with. But with that mentor, they're gonna be with you step by step and showing you the correct path, so you don't have to, like you were saying before, go to like a real estate seminar. It's like
Yeah, negative.
a long
Yeah,
joke
yeah.
in the real estate community when you go out there, you do something that well, you may not have known you shouldn't have done, and once you do
Mm-hmm.
it, you just purchased the seminar because you just lost some money and you learned a
Yeah,
valuable lesson from it. So
yeah.
that's the reason why you get a mentor. That's the fastest way to success.
To learn the
Getting the
process.
mentorship,
To
right?
learn the
And
process.
right, and then the other step too. So we still in that skill up phase. A lot of people get stuck in this phrase because they researching everything, right? We call them seminar junkies. They constantly
Junkies.
learning and learning and learning. So you want to go to step two. Step two is the startup. So we got the information. Now we acting on the information and we starting up. Now we starting to make some money. Starting to make some money. I got a successful business, but it's just you. You could do anything, but you can't do everything. So that's where we go to step three. Step three, we're going to scale up. Scale up. You get some team members. You start network with different folks so you can get more stuff done. Scaling up. Then step number four, we're going to get into the scale up, where we gonna get to the sell up. I think I missed those up. We got the skill up, we got the start up, we got the scale up, and then the step number four is the sell up, where you have like a complementary business. Like at one time, I had my different people I was working with, but then I started up a property management company, which is like a complementary business. It wasn't like I'm in real estate, then I'm selling cars on the side, So the property management goes right along with the real estate business. So real estate investor, real estate broker. Now I got the property management company. So it's like all in one same vertical.
Umbrella.
And yeah.
Yeah,
One
and the same
same
umbrella.
same umbrella. And this help grow, help growing the business and going to the next.
Yeah. So like a positive, and to add to the mindset aspect of it, bringing this into the process, positive mental attitude. Now I know that sounds cliche,
Yes.
throughout the whole process. And in order for people to have a positive mental attitude, they may not want to, quit their job and, just jump out there, like gung ho. But the mindset to have a positive mental attitude and to
Yes.
continue, because I was told that, you know, 90% of it is just showing up. Just
Right.
like I said, the majority of things happen when you follow up. And in
Mm-hmm.
order to follow up, that means you've been told no, possibly, or
Right.
you've been told not today. And in order to maintain that positive mental attitude is to understand the process. Okay, so that's what, touching on that a little bit about, how to have the right mindset, have enough
Yes.
information in your mind to where you know this works, you've seen the evidence, you've seen the proof,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're moving toward in the process, and in the process of actually securing a deal, or making something happen, or making connections. And that brings us to a circle of influence, the people
Mm-hmm.
that are around you that are actually teaching you, that it's, the mentoring,
Right.
and the answering of the questions. You mentioned that somebody would be there to answer those questions when,
Yes.
a phone call away. That's why I was telling you
Absolutely.
Joe's class. I was like, man, I'm so glad I got into this because Joe's just a phone call away. And then,
Absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
same way, it's a
I
phone
mean,
call away.
it's so solid, man. Just a phone call away, and mentors, and like I said, the most influential people in me coming up like I said, my aunt and uncle. Like when I'm from Toledo, Ohio, and I got relocated out here to Indiana. I was in this little town called Newcastle, Indiana. And anybody know
I'm familiar
Newcastle?
with
It's
that.
probably
Yeah, we
still
was
like
out there
that.
looking at some houses.
It's
We was
probably
just out
still
there
like
looking
that
at
to
some
this
houses.
day.
Yeah.
Not too many people look like us in Newcastle, Indiana. So it was kind of challenging in Newcastle, Indiana.
Yeah.
But man, I used to talk to my aunt and uncle, man, every night, man, and they dropped that wisdom on me. You know what I mean? And with
Yeah.
leaning on that, that's how I kind of made it through there. Because it was a couple times I was like, man, hey, I'm out, baby. Hey, they ain't feeling me, I ain't feeling them, and so we can part these ways peacefully. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and hop in my little neon and head on back to Toledo.
Right.
but
Right.
yeah, talking to them, man, they kind of talked me through it, man. It kept me grounded, man. I stood on my own 2 feet, even though these people was make a long story short, was totally against me. I think I
Yeah.
was the first black supervisor they had there at the crisis facility there in
Yeah.
Newcastle, Indiana. It was man, challenging. It was real challenging. I had death threats and everything. The police had to get involved, but I stood there. But with the leaning on that wisdom, from my aunt and uncle, man, they used to counsel me pretty much on a daily night sometime before I go in there
Yeah.
on the ship. It was pretty rough, man. I felt as though my life was in danger. The only thing I'm trying to do is make some money so I can take care of my kids, man, especially my daughter I
Yeah.
got coming along. It
I
was it was
know,
a
right?
challenging, very challenging time in my life right there. Just trying to go
Yeah.
to work, make a good living, not doing nothing weird. Not even. I'm treating people in a manner I want to be treated, like I was raised to treat people, and these guys
Yeah.
was acting real foul. I
Yeah.
know that's offside of real estate, but that's real life though. You having a
Yeah. It's real
mentor, you having
life.
people in your life, man. Man, that's priceless. That is priceless. You
Yeah.
can't put a dollar figure on that.
Yeah. So dealing with that, and then moving forward, and with as far as the people that you were coming in contact with,
Mm,
you were dealing with the real estate and the circle of influence that people that how you actually identified that, saw that as
right.
important, saw it as important. The circle of influence, the people that you hang, they say your five that's
Yeah,
what they say. The five people you hang
you hang
around
around.
most are the people that
Right,
you're gonna be like. If you hanging around broke people, if you hanging
man.
around people that's not doing anything, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like if you're in an environment and your job and your job is one of those jobs to where you're cut off from people, like I've actually experienced that being in trucking,
Right.
and where my circle of influence when I was buying and selling and rehabbing and things like that, when I took on that responsibility of providing or selling my time,
Hmm.
for a mile a minute, a mile
Right.
or a dollar a mile or what have you. Kind of my circle of influence was there, but it just was I wasn't in connected with it.
Right.
So tell me some ways a person can actually develop that circle of influence through
Yes.
their through the keeping in mind the process and the mindset, using the
Right.
mindset and the
Right.
process to actually bring that with you into the circle of influence.
You kind of touched on it earlier. Napoleon Hill got a quote where he says, "What the
Brother,
mind can conceive, if you believe, you
what
can
the
achieve." So first, you got to see it in your mind, right? So people believe seeing is believing, but you see it in your mind. You see it, right? So you could be in that's why a lot of people kind of really give. Talk about their upbringing and when they
yeah,
brought up in a different environment, because that's really challenging, because your environment affects you whether you
yeah,
realize it or not. If you in a negative environment, that's
woo,
going to affect you, you know what I mean?
man,
So if you got the power, the ability to be out of a negative environment and surround yourself around wealthy people that's doing good, even though you're not in that situation right now, but if you are able to surround yourself with people like that, you're gonna get that knowledge and that wisdom and
going,
different tips that's gonna
yeah,
help change your life. Here's a bar right here. Information can change your situation. Information can change your situation. I've
Right.
met different people along this road, real estate career, life and during real estate, and just really say just little small things. And that's another thing I kind of gather with my. I always go back to my uncle, be dropping them bars. I mean, it might be just a small statement, man, and it just inspire your mind, get your wheels turning, because your thoughts create actions, and your actions create results. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
this little bars is to get your mind turning. So what I would say is like, if you can, you want to, like you was talking about, you surround yourself with people that's doing better, that's headed in the right direction, because you want more out of life. You want to
Right.
better your situation. So just because you grew up in a rough area, you in a rough area right now, don't mean you need to hang around the knuckleheads. You don't need to be hanging around the drug dealers and stuff like that. And if you are a drug dealer, or you got some issues or whatever, you want to get yourself out of that environment if you can. Get yourself out of
Mm-hmm.
that environment. And then if you're in a situation where you can't get out of that environment, start doing that, really home in on that personal development. The
Mm-hmm.
audio books. I mean, I like the Grant Cardone, the 10X book.
Yeah.
Grant Cardone,
Yeah.
Obsessed to Be Average, and
Or
get
even
real
how to win
serious about
friends,
your personal development.
how to win friends and influence people.
Yes,
And,
sir.
and,
Yes,
and I
sir.
would add to that, as far as the circle of influence, go in creating a circle of influence, looking to give. I mean, because some of
Yeah.
these processes, when you're talking about your circle of influence, these people are the people you want to be around are already doing the things that you would like to
Hmm.
be doing. So, it would be best to
Right.
go into that situation looking to give more so
Right.
than looking to get, something
Right.
out of
Right.
it, because a lot of times they see you coming a mile away, and they've had a bunch of
Right.
people tell them, hey, if you help me with this, I'll do this, that, and the other. They know, see, the difference, and I learned this when I came from California. I saw this. It's not something I learned, but I recognized this, that people in California are different from people, I will say, in the Midwest, because I'm not going
Mm.
to pinpoint to one particular
Right.
location, because but what I discovered in parts of my circle of influence, these little disclaimers, but that people in California or certain parts of California, they will show you everything.
Mm.
They'll show you everything because it's a fast-paced environment, but they know that a lot of people are not going to do anything with it anyway, and they don't look at it as a waste of time because the more they understand, the more they teach, the better it helps them to become.
Right.
Versus, where I found myself, here where I'm at, to where people don't want to tell you nothing.
Wow.
They don't want to tell you nothing here. You see somebody doing something and you have the mindset and you see the process and you want to learn how to operate that process, and you start to gather people for your circle of influence and who you surround yourself with, and they shun you. So you're
Mm.
kind of like back up and you latch on stronger to your job because you hit three or four different people that are not willing to share, the knowledge, and then when you do get some money together and purchase something, they're
Mm.
telling you, well, if you pay, they'll really help you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Right. Right. Right.
but nonetheless, the circle of influence, like you say, is with positive people who are
Mm.
teacher mindset, people who have the mindset of a teacher.
Right.
They are willing to show you how to do things, and then sit back and sit there with you while you do it, and then allow you to make mistakes, and just bring you along so that you're learning the process. But yeah, so
Right.
and then within that circle of influence, there's going to be a shining star, a
Right.
mentor
Yes.
that and it's and most valuable, because for some reason you connect, you're in the close proximity, you connect, you have some common connections with your, whether it be family, work, or even just the subject of work that you desire to do, which is real estate.
Right on.
Give me a little
Yeah.
insight on how to choose a mentor, because I've chosen several, and you
Mhm.
have been my mentor for, in real estate and different things like that. And I want to say thank you. I appreciate
You're
the
welcome.
knowledge. You walked hand in hand with different things,
Yeah.
and of course, we all bring something to the table to
Yes, sir.
share, and we learn different things from each other. But as
Right on.
far as real estate and the purpose
Hmm.
of mastering or developing a mindset to respect the process,
Right.
of being a real estate investor. How
Hmm.
would somebody with all the red water, blue water, red
Right.
water, blue water,
Right. Right.
all the red water out there, help someone find the blue water to where the mentor is what sets
Right.
2024? What sets
2024.
2024?
Yes,
What
sir.
sets the mentors apart from the old marketing just to get a sale versus
Right.
the I truly want to see you succeed
Right.
in the value of that.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at a mentor, just like if you looking to do business with an individual, you people do business with who they like and they trust. So you see someone that you identify with, and you develop some trust factor, maybe through video or maybe through word of mouth recommendation and something like that. People do business with who they like and they trust, and also the person is doing something that you see yourself wanting to do. And just like I was saying before, is the fastest way to success is getting in proximity with someone that's doing exactly what you're looking to do. So, and then somebody to kind of share your beliefs. Like, I'm a God fearing person. So I believe that God blesses us and allows us to be a blessing to others.
Amen.
So that's yeah, amen. Yeah, that's what
I
I
agree
believe.
with that.
Yeah,
Amen.
he blesses us, whether it's financially or with these different gifts and whatnot. That's what I call the real estate business. It's a gift, and I thank God for it because it's truly Him.
A blessing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And he doesn't pick the most perfect people in my beliefs. He don't pick the most perfect people. He picks the people. He picks the people, send them through a test, and then he qualifies. Say, hey, you the one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
So
least.
yeah,
Yeah. The
people
least one.
people
The
do
one you
business.
least expect.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that would be me. Coming through school. I especially early on, I wasn't the smartest kid in school, and still making it through. And even though I made it through high school, inner city, and all that came to the table when I went to college. Went to college, boy, it was tough. When I say tough, man, it took me 9 years to get a 4 year degree, but it was I mean real tough. But
Yeah.
like I said, that mindset, that mindset, I was raised with, even though I'm going through all these challenging times and extreme financial times, but just based off of what I was the moral fabric I was raised with my
Hmm.
grandparents and especially with my aunt and uncle, that I didn't waver. You know what I mean? I stayed lockstep. We're gonna figure it out some way, somehow. And then another thing too, is like a lot of I don't want to like segment a certain set of people, but a lot of people that come in, they grow up in those areas, you're around challenging times. So even though you have these big success, and then if you have a big setback, you just don't fall apart because you
Right.
got that mindset. You got that mindset. I'm gonna keep fighting no matter what. You
Right.
just gonna be like a bullet going through life. You just gonna keep piercing no matter what happens. You just gonna keep going, keep going. You can't. You're not gonna stop. You're not. Nothing is gonna stop you. There's a
Yeah.
saying is that
Yeah. We're gonna touch on
you
that.
yeah, it's a
Yeah. We're
saying.
gonna
You have
touch
a
on that.
mentality that nothing is going to stop you. You have that mentality that nothing's going to stop you, no matter what you encounter, nothing is going to stop you from obtaining success. Nothing's going to stop you. That's the type of mindset that you want to have. And then the opposite of that, if you have a mindset that, this happened, it's raining today, so I'm not going to do this. I got a headache. I'm not going to, anything can stop a person who has the mindset that's going to let something stop them. But you want to have that unstoppable mindset, that go-getter, that I'm going to, 50 Cent would say, I'm gonna get rich or I'm gonna die trying. You got to be all in, baby.
Right.
If you want to, yeah, you want to
like
win,
ET,
you got to be all in. And
like
once you
ET
get that
said, you gotta
that
want
type
it
of,
like ET said, you gotta want it like you want breathing. The
yes,
story like
sir, yes, sir.
yeah.
Once you elevate it to that level, you're gonna attain your goal. If you want something really, really bad, if you want it really, really bad, you're gonna get it. Nothing's gonna stop you, because if you want it really bad, you're gonna get it.
So the character development is what we were touching on. Basically, when you're choosing a mentor,
Yes, sir.
choosing a mentor that has the character
Mm-hmm.
that not only will you be influenced to be successful in the real estate or any business,
Anything.
a mentor of superior character,
Mm-hmm.
like you say, being a God-fearing man, and
Yeah.
because when you're around this mentor, the mentor going to strip clubs, the mentor going to,
Right.
he taking shortcuts and doing all this other kind of stuff. You don't want to be following behind a mentor. That
Right.
makes you question some of the training that, you know, and if he lets you know about that stuff,
Right.
you can't, be too judgmental based on a person's character, just based on how they actually uh, protect
Mm.
their influence on other people, because some people are discreet. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing.
Right.
And they have the boundaries necessary, because you can get a mentor, get in and get out, get what you need and get out. Because I know
Mm.
people that I've taught, how to do different things, and they've learned from me, and then but yet they had other things that they did that I was not,
Mm.
I didn't want to participate in that, but
Right on.
they still saw, me as a viable source for, learning, as and you and I coming from a moral fabric of uh, good behavior. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
Married,
Yeah.
and trying to make it, because this ain't it. Trying to make it to the
Right.
next, the next life. And
Right.
so finding a mentor in the process of doing that is the same as any other process. You get out here and you ask around, ask questions, get in a good circle of influence. And begin to learn the process as you're going to get this circle of influence, and just keeping that mindset and saying you got to want it like you want air, oxygen. Now let's talk
Yes,
about
sir.
training,
Mm-hmm.
because even though you have a mentor, the training that goes into that, uh, you know, this is one thing I learned where I was auditing a construction class, and they got the book stuff, and then the teacher has been out in the field, and they got some things they learned they teach you in reality. I learned
Right.
that the tip of your finger is about an inch,
Mm.
and sometimes that's how they would measure things, but in the book it tells you to do it, you know the technical way, using a ruler and this, that, and the other. So as far as the training that goes into, um, what would you consider to be um, training worth, you know, worth getting connected to, the type of training that would, because we got the character thing straight with the
Right.
mentor. Now, his training or the training, how important is that? I mean, how important, or how to identify whether it's good training or not?
What was the question? How would
How
you?
do we identify whether it's good training or not? Because
Gotcha.
results come from, say, like you
Mm-hmm.
get a course. So, like somebody wants to sell
Right.
you a course.
Right.
All right. The same course. One person
Right.
buys it and successful with it. Another person
Right.
buys it and he sucks at it. Okay, we're going to
Right.
eliminate that part of it. So if both people get it and neither one of them succeed at it, that's pretty much would be considered bad training, or what would you add to that as far as the training that goes into it?
Well, the training is one piece of the information, but the most important thing is that your mindset, right? So that's the most important thing is having that strong mindset. And then when you purchase a course, or if you elect to get for a mentor, which I strongly recommend hiring a mentor, the success of the program is really 100%. Just like we're responsible for my beliefs. We're responsible for 100% of our outcome, whether it's something good or something that goes on bad. So you want to just align yourself with the process. So say for example, I say for example, you want to learn this real estate seller financing. So you purchased a course, you signed up for the mentorship, and you attending the coaching sessions. We have the coaching sessions, and we giving you exchanging information, guiding you along the way. But it's the person that's going through there, the mentee, that outcome is 100% your responsibility. The mentor is there to guide you, but it's still 100% your responsibility. Like this old phrase that say you can take a horse to the water, but you can't
But you
force him
can't
to
make
drink.
them drink.
Right. But yeah, it's 100% your responsibility. But then going even further along from that is that mindset. Like we talking about mindset, but I really want people really to home in on the mindset, that personal development, because you change the way you think, and that change your whole life. It's gonna change the way you interact with people. Like as this one example is kind of is this, even for myself, it's just kind of odd. Like I had spent the Christmas holidays with my daughter, and like I go to the gym, I listen to rap music. I mean, I listen to different type of rap music when I go to the gym. So, but I'm down there with my daughter, and she don't listen to rap. It's like gospel all day long, and her husband is from Ghana, so they got the different type of gospel going. It was nice. It was really nice. I mean, I was into it. You know what I mean? So, like I said,
Right.
normally when I go to the gym, I listen to rap music. I got my headphones on. I'm in
Yeah,
my own
workout
world or
music. Yeah.
whatever. But I come back here to Indiana, and I'm starting to still hearing those gospel tunes. So I just tuned it in, and I'm just in a different mood when I go to the gym. And I have people coming up to me, because just a different aura. People coming up to me, and my speech is different. And so now I'm interacting. Even me, I'm the mentor, the coach that I go out and I'm helping people. But man, I have people coming up to speaking with me that normally don't speak, and we have a nice good conversation. Like I said, the information that you putting in your mind is just so important. It not only change you, but it help change the environment that you're around. I had a guy that I was speaking with, and I see him, high by, nice, pleasantries and whatnot. But this particular day, I got my gospel music in my ears, right? Normally I'm listening to rap music, but I got my gospel music in my ears, and I guess I just seemed a little bit more approachable that day. He sat down and talked to me. I had a couple guys in this situation because it was like a nice little stretch. I've listened to my gospel music. So these guys were going through some rough times. Like one guy, his friend, he was a veteran, and his friend took his life. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And I took the time to sit
wow.
there and talk to him. You know what I mean? So by me putting myself in the right uh, mindset, it allowed me to share some good words with the guy that was there. You just never know where people are at. I had another guy that was having some same gym, different day. He was having some challenging times, but I was just in a different mindset. So that's just the personal development is so important, and it can affect it, not only help you, but it can help the people around you. And
Yeah.
again, going back to the God thing, we can help make the world a better place.
Better place.
One
Yeah.
by one, each one help influence each other.
Now, what would you think would be the best? Well, I don't say the best, but one that you could possibly benefit from or lean towards training method. When I say training,
Mhm.
I'm saying you got a mentor. You got
Yep.
you came, you showed up ready to give. You showed up ready to
Right.
serve and learn, and you're, a good friend character, the mentor, and the training. What
Hmm.
method, would do you think? And no method fits all. One method doesn't fit
Yep.
all, but to capture um, to help as many people as possible,
Hmm.
or to say to have the best effect for the most amount of people. What training method? I mean, because I'm saying training, I know I'm looking at, I know mindset and
Right.
everything that goes into that, but the methods, how people learn,
Right.
and how a person versus how a person teaches. Give me a little
Right.
feedback on what you discovered about maybe yourself and then other people that you have helped, that
Right.
have, success stories that you have helped.
Mhm.
Give me a little insight on that, to the method that you have, possibly have honed in on.
Right. Coming through this, I kind of take different things that I've learned from mentors that I had, and then the good I take, and then the bad I give back. But what I do when I'm working with someone, I treat them like family. Like they hired me, and I want to go. I mean, all the way to help them. You find good people, and you treat them like family. And as far as specifically the method, like we not only are we teaching, explaining, taking time, being available for the to the individual. I know Rodney, you coined the phrase "as being one phone call away," and literally, I mean, one phone call away. You can call me,
Right.
text me, I got you. But also just getting if you having a challenging time, we'll role play. But if you're having a challenging time, I'm right with you every step of the way. Like whatever it takes, man. We gonna hit the target. You willing to put in the work? We're gonna make it happen. And then even one thing I even added it into one of the packages. So like you hear about the no money down strategies, and it is possible, but just to remove all shadow of doubt whether you can do the business or not, I even be willing to partner with people on the deal. So meaning that if you're in a situation where you need the money, we can work out some type of arrangement where we can partner on the deal. So this whatever it takes for the person to be successful, that's what I'm committed to. You commit yourself to me, I'm gonna commit myself to you, and we're gonna go all the way to the top.
There it is. That's what I'm talking about right there. Now that's the best training. I mean, because that's synonymous, with martial arts. Because when you get to the dojo, man, he's gonna be, taking you with grabbing your gi and showing you how to this, that, and the other, whatnot. Hey, so but and then that's wonderful, man. To feel like family, to feel
Yes,
like you're
sir.
not just a number, to feel like
Right,
you have access to the actual trainer. And I'm sure at some point there'll be some qualified individuals selected to actually duplicate yourself, and that's important too. That personality and character and mindset and all those types of things are able to be duplicated, because one, you can't do it all. And with the
right.
quality of the training and the level of commitment that comes with the training, man, it's gonna be hard to get. That phone call away might be like several rings. I might have to call like 3 or 4 times just to get to this brother,
Oh
But that's
yeah,
a good thing,
yeah,
you
we're gonna
know.
make it happen though. We're gonna make it
Yeah,
happen.
that's a good thing though,
Right,
So that helps to identify, what type of training and training methods, will be best for, as many people as possible, which is
right,
quality selection and training of those individuals who are put in place to help you,
right,
and to
right.
help the people that call in. Now, this is
Yeah.
the thing I'm getting ready to say, man. This thing here, man, I just can't emphasize enough, brother,
All right.
because this is the one thing that people don't want to do. I
Hmm.
mean, and the following after that, is kind of a suffix of that, or a add on to that, but practice.
Practice. Yes,
Practice,
sir. Yes, sir.
practice, practice. My son, I'm gonna share a little bit with you, and then I want you to share with me um, what what does that look like for uh, the right team. My
Right.
son plays 5 instruments. He's
Wow.
mastered 5 instruments. He actually plays 8. He's a
Mm.
musician. He writes, he reads, he does musical scores and different things like that. I had to live with this boy blowing this horn. He plays baritone sax, saxophones, bass saxophone, I mean, all of them. And I had to live with him playing this horn for hours. And again, I had
Wow.
to endure it because I knew, and it's been proven, give or take 10,000 hours to be able to consider yourself an expert or, good
Right.
at something, And it's just something that you have to do. You got to be bad before you can be good. And some people are slow learners and some people learn fast,
Hmm.
but practice is so important. Share with
Yes.
me some insights on encouragement and maybe possibly reward or consequences or
Right.
the lack thereof, based on
Right.
how you influence and how you mentor as far as
Yeah.
practices go.
Yeah, that's good. Another phrase. It's like, we only as good as how we train. We got to constantly train. And just like I was saying that, that mindset, the personal development, listen to audiobooks. So say, for example, um, you know, if I'm listening to audiobooks on Monday and then I don't listen to anything else till Friday, you gotta constantly train. You want to constantly like you training your because when it comes to mentorship, like you hire your mentor, the good mentors, you hire your mentor, and of course the subject, the seller financing real estate, we want to help you hit your financial goals, but also we want to impart because it's more to it than that. Like say you want to hit your financial goals, but you want to be taking care of your body too, and that's another piece. We want to make sure we exercise and drinking the right amount of water, getting enough sleep, taking care of our body, right? Because what's good is making all this money if you're not taking care of your health,
Your
right?
health. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you kind of touched on that as far as family and things like that. We want to impart on you the whole successful picture. Like
Picture.
it's just
Yeah.
not we're just not all about just making the dollar. We want to help you hit your financial goals, making a dollar, no doubt. But also we want to share with you the other things that go right along with that. So you can have a well-round balance and you hit all your targets, your personal development target. I'm constantly talking about that, the mindset and the personal development. We want to hit that. That's a target that they say success is like paying rent, and the rent's due every day. So
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
the personal development is more too than just listening to the audios. It's about
Exactly.
eating the right foods. It's like exercise, and that's due every day. So every day is we on that path of success, and we just paving the way. And
Man,
then
that's
also now
awesome.
you yeah, the financial targets. You come in here, you implement these seller financing strategies, you training, like say day one, you're not going to be that good. Day two, you're going to be a little bit better. And we just going to keep working at it and working at it and working at it until we become good. And then we're going to take the good and take it up even another notch. And we just keep working at it, keep working at it, working at it. Then you get your finances. Now, here's another piece too that not too many people talk about. You got your health going. Now you in here making the money. So now I'm making money. It's training beyond that too. You making all this money. What do you do with it? We don't just go to the, like you mentioned, the strip club and make it rain. We don't do that. We don't. Yeah, we don't just take the money and just spend it
Make it
half.
rain. Make
Yeah,
it
we don't
rain.
do that. We don't take our money and just because you have you making, and this will happen, you make a large sum of money, a family member or friend come through and wants a gift or whatever that
Yeah.
borrow whatever. You got to be responsible with the money that you make, and that's another part of the piece too. As you learning these strategies, it's all about building wealth. So you
Yeah,
buying these properties and you just taking your money. To make a long story short, you taking your money and you multiplying it. You know what I mean? You making X amount of dollars, but when you buying real estate, historically real estate appreciates over time. So you taking your money, you start buying these properties, and you just multiplying your money.
man.
It's just a really beautiful thing. Real estate, in my opinion, is the best business ever. Real estate investing is the best business ever. Notice I said real estate investing. I didn't say wholesaling. Wholesaling, you're not investing in the real estate. I'm talking, and I didn't say buy, fix, and flip. You're not investing in the real estate. When you buying the property and you keeping the property, you're gaining wealth, and that's what. And you can do this with no money, right? You can do it with no money, no credit, and sometimes it can be really challenging. But the key to all of this stuff, just like me and Rodney, we've been knowing each other for years, and the most powerful thing in all of this stuff is relationships. You go start creating the powerful relationships, and you just never know where your next business partner will come from. You never know where your next money source will come from. You start forming these powerful relationships, and that within itself can help change your life, which allows you to help change other people's lives around you.
That's right. That sounds awesome, man. Practice not
Yes, sir.
only is not only about the actual business and this, that, and the other, but in order to have effective practice, I hear you saying,
Mm-hmm.
is that in order for you to have the right mindset or your mind to be clear so you
Yes.
can believe, so you can function
Mm.
and at the maximum level is dealing with what you're eating and how's your health,
Yes.
and it's not that I don't think you're saying that you're going to be marriage counseling and
Right.
relationship this, that, and the other, but you do have an ear for people based on
Yeah.
what's hindering them from actually being able to practice what it is that they're being mentored to
Mm-hmm.
practice, and that is an amazing. I've never really heard anyone who has come to this point in their business that they've been asked so many times, can you help me, can you help me, can you help me, and then so you sit down and you practice putting together, all these tools and avenues and business to where someone can actually that you can help more people,
Right.
at a time versus um, the not necessarily the one-on-one. So practice is not all about real estate. Practice is about well-being, personal
Yes.
well-being, personal
Yes.
all of the personal development in your health and focusing on
Yes.
that. And then what are you going to do with all this money, that
Right.
goes into that? And last, but not least, and I think you touched on this, a couple times in the mindset process, but to bring it out specifically on its own, it carries its own banner, and it is definitely where 90% of the success lies. In my opinion, it's where 90% of it lies, and that is persistence.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I remember my grandmother used to always say that persistence. I like persistence.
Persistence, yeah.
Persistence.
And looking at and you have look up persistence in the dictionary, and I'm sure your pictures in there.
Oh man.
And I'm telling you, bro,
Thanks, man.
persistence. And so, um, give me a little, I mean, a lot
Mm-hmm.
on persistence that has um gone beyond you
Mm-hmm.
know, saying, just keep going. I mean,
Right. Right. Right.
how,
Right.
the health part is really important as far as
Yes.
being able to have persistence,
Right.
to be able to have the stamina,
Mm-hmm.
to persist, so, and I think you've touched on that already, just briefly, if you could share something on persistence, because that word or that mindset, that part of the mindset
Mm-hmm.
process, um, what does that look like? I mean, is it relentless ignorance?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know they say ignorance on fire is
Ignorance
better
on
than
fire.
knowledge on ice.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
that persistence. I mean, I love that, man. Persistence. This, just keep pushing, right? So, say for example, you can change. You could change your whole mood. Like is one gentleman I network with. Like before he get on camera, man, he might drop and do a bunch of push-ups. He might just start jumping up. Just jumping in place, just changing his whole mindset, and then it just allow him to just push through any type of anxiety he might be feeling or whatever, because he just you just push him with action. And the other thing too, as far as you persistent, and say we are human, and you run into a certain situation, and you never will fail. Only way you fail is if you quit. As long as you keep pushing, as long as you keep pushing, as long as you keep pushing, you're gonna win. Matter of fact, the win is in the push, because it's not about a race. Success is not a destination. The success is in the journey. Right. As long as you're pushing every day, and that's that persistence. You pushing every day. I'm just taking one step and one foot, putting it in front of the other. One foot, putting it in front of the other. Now you winning. You persistently pushing through life towards success. And as long as you keep pushing like that, you winning. You are exercising persistence. And when you see someone that you identify with, that, if you picking up what I'm putting down, you reach out to that particular individual and say, hey, what do we have to do in order to, form some type of relationship where we can work together? Because remember, the fastest way to success is getting in proximity, getting a mentor that's going to help show you the different techniques of how they became successful, and you just kind of pattern your ways right after them, and you're gonna get there the quickest, because he's gonna show you all the different little shortcuts that you probably just not aware of. And then the one beautiful thing, I was just talking to a gentleman the other day, and this is going to take it a little different twist from persistence, and but I just wanted to show you it kind of goes back to persistence also, because the gentleman just didn't throw in the towel. He could have did something kind of weird. He's on the different area, east side of Indy, rough area. And just to share a little story, it's going to go in a little direction, but I'm going to bring it back. But the gentleman came home. He came home at night, and his wife was there with another man. Now, this, again, he's a street guy, like I said, that could have went totally different, but he stood on his principles, that different people probably would act differently, but this young man, I thank God that he reacted like this. He held in his rage. He called his father. His father got him out of the situation, and then the other guy, a couple of days later, wanted to double back and want to kind of get into it with them. But some people, you gotta use your mind. Some people you shouldn't do that to. And by then, the boys, his people was kind of surrounded the guy, and the guy, luckily, he made it out of there alive. But the point I wanted to make is that this particular gentleman, he practiced persistent. He kind of stayed, even though he's going through a tough time financially. He's going through a tough time with his personal situation with his wife. This guy has violated his personal space. And he was he stuck to his moral fiber, and he just keep pushing. Now him and his wife are working out the differences, and they together they pushing through, being persistent. You know what I mean? Only way you fail is if you quit. Now say like I said, he's a different type of guy. He a street guy. He could have did something that he could have been regretting for the rest of his life. Based off of something like that. Different people probably would have acted differently. And I just thank God that the gentleman reacted like he did. And I'm gonna reach out to him. I'll probably reach out to him when we get off the phone. He normally stay up when we get off here. He normally stays up pretty late.
That's a nice. I'm awesome.
Make sure he's still in the right mindset. But just persistent. You just keep pushing.
Application. Just keep pushing through life. That's an awesome application. That is, man. That's a very awesome application of how to persist in your realize, in your character, how to persist in your mind to know that, hey, you're gonna make the right decision. So persistence. And then with that said,
this stuff is bigger than just business. I mean, we all face different type of challenges, health challenges, family challenges and whatnot, and your mentor can be there for you in many different aspects. And
Exactly.
sometimes just because you got a mentor, it's not your mentor is not just on a platform and you way down here. I know, with Brother Rodney, sometimes it's the other way around with certain
Wow.
situations. He be dropping game on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all good. It's the
Yeah.
relationships, man. The relationships.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And with that
Yeah.
said, my brother, I'm gonna go ahead and go into this
Yeah.
shameless plug, my brother, because you got the
Yes, sir.
mentorship program that is gonna rock Indianapolis and other states by storm, man. So go ahead and
Man.
you kind of touched on a few different aspects of it, man. But let me know what you got, man.
Man, this is what I got, man. For the people, I know we've been on here for a little bit. For all the people that watched, or maybe you fast forward and watch to the end, we got something special for you. Something special for you. This is what I'm calling my friends and family program. I call Rodney is like family, mentor. No, he's family. That's my brother right there. And so
Yeah.
we got a package for friends and family. You contact Rodney Rhodes. I don't know if you want to give him a number or how you want to tell him to contact you. You're gonna get a special discount, a special discount, a deep discount on my programs. And if you contact Rodney Rhodes, and we gonna hook you up. If you happen to contact me, but I want you to contact Rodney, so
What?
we know where it came from. But if you contact me, just let me know you seen the
Look at
Rodney Rhodes
you.
video, and we're
Look
gonna
at
hook you up
you.
with a nice special discount. It's gonna at least be 25% or more. But you contact Rodney, we gonna hook you up. You
All
want
right.
to give us some contact information, or how you want them to contact
There you go. Well, I was in California, man. A lot of different ethnic groups out there, and I was lucky
you?
enough to come across one who was a Jewish guy. He
Mm-hmm.
said, "Man, whatever you do, man, because we was talking about how we like to pay, and it was like my friend. He said, "Man, let me tell you a secret. My friends and family should pay full price, and
Mm.
because my enemies don't do business with me." So you
Whoa.
giving them a discount, man? That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
And I'm all believer in promoting business and helping
Yeah.
people. And I definitely want this training to be continue to be a success as it
Yes.
already is. And I appreciate that. Anybody wants to get in contact with me can do so. I can actually put my email on here, and then I can put my phone number on here, 317-918-2366. That's 317-918-2366. And you can also email me at freetimelifestyle@gmail.com. That's freetime lifestyle, spelled the way it sounds, freetime lifestyle at gmail.com. You can get in touch with Armand as well. I'm sure he'll put his phone number and information on there where you can get in contact with him as well.
Yeah.
And he's going to ask you if you say you're a family or a friend of mine and
Right.
you have contacted me, tell you serious about business and we're serious about character. So
Yes, sir.
develop upstanding character, as you proceed to pursue your success in real estate. And I do believe this is a heartfelt thing that I'm saying because I've done a lot in my real estate uh, education and businesses. And this is one of the most profound um, organizations that I've been lucky enough to watch develop and grow. And I just say kudos to you, my brother. God bless you, man. I appreciate
Bless
you.
you,
You
brother.
are my brother.
Yes, sir.
And if there's anything else I can do, man, to help, I'll be sending you some deals, man. I always
All
say
right,
that.
let's do it.
I
Let's make
always
it
do
happen.
that. So yeah, let's make it happen. What's the website or what's the email or the website?
Yeah, the best way to contact me, you could go to my well, you could hit me up on my phone number, or you could go to my website. It's armandwright the number one.com, armandwright the number one.com, and just say that the Rodney Rhodes special, the Rodney Rhodes special. We're gonna hook you up. It's deep discount, at least 25%. We're gonna hook you up.
All right, my brother. Well, it's about time to get ready to do it again tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Say a prayer for me,
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
I'll do the same.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All
All
right,
right.
bro.
Until next time, people. Thank you. Thank you for watching.